Hey guys, I'm Kalila Reynolds and it's time for another episode of Money Mondays brought to you in partnership with Proven Wealth. And I'm very pleased to announce, drumroll please, that I have a brand new partner on board. The Jamaica Stock Exchange joins us as of this week. So I'm super excited about that. Go check out their social media pages at JamStockEX. Definitely a great follow. Now today I'm talking about the brand new IPO on the market. This one is for investment firm QWI. You might have been hearing about it all summer. Well, now it's finally here and it opens today, Monday, September 16. It's scheduled to close on Monday, September 30. But like I always say, don't wait until last minute to try to apply. Many of these IPOs open, close same day or well before the scheduled close date. And if you haven't even opened your investment account yet, you better go do that now. Like start coughing at work, tell your boss that you're sick, and you run go open your investment account. No. I'm joking, but seriously though, you need an investment account which is different from a regular bank account in order to buy shares in any company. And it takes about 2 to 3 business days to get your JCSD number, which is your trading number, before you can actually start trading. So please stop putting it off and missing all these opportunities. Let's make this money. Anyway, so QWI, they're calling it QE. If you haven't read the prospectus yet, go do so as soon as you're done watching this video. You can download it from the JSE's website. Read it thoroughly. It's not that hard to understand. And remember, anything I'm about to say, please don't take it as advice. I'm not a licensed financial advisor, so don't go telling anyone that me say go buy QE. Always consult a licensed financial advisor when making these types of decisions. And of course, do your own reading. So what is QWI, QE? Most of you may not have heard of it, and there's a good reason for that. They're a brand new investment company. They were only incorporated last December, so they're only about 9 months old. The public face of the company is John Jackson. Those of you who follow finance definitely know that name. He's the man behind the popular financial blog, ICinsider.com. He always has some very strong opinions about stuff happening on the market, but he's also doing a lot more than that. He's a chartered accountant by profession and an entrepreneur. He's chairman of Jamaican Teas Limited, also a listed company, as well as another company named KIW International. And he sits on many public and private boards. Now, I single out Jamaican Teas and KIW because they're very important to the QWI story. In fact, they're the parent companies of QWI. These two companies came together in a way to establish QWI. In 2017, Jam Teas bought a 42% stake in KIW from the government. At that time, KIW owned a small portfolio of JSE-listed stocks, as well as commercial property on Spanish Town Road. But after the acquisition, Jam Teas decided to sell the property and use the proceeds to invest in other JSE-listed companies. Then in March of this year, Jam Teas and KIW transferred their share portfolios to the new company, QWI. They essentially gave $465 million to them to invest in even more stocks in exchange for 465 million shares in QE. So as of now, Jam Teas owns 47% of QE and KIW owns 53%. That will shrink to a combined 43% after the new shares are issued to you, the public. So what does QE actually do? They're an investment firm. Like any good investment firm, their aim is to monitor the markets and find promising candidates for above average returns. They also pursue private equity opportunities to a limited extent, meaning that they invest in a select few private companies. So what makes QE different from any other investment firm? Why should you give them your money? Well, I asked that question to the chairman, John Jackson.
Well, the strategy is to invest funds in stocks and shares primarily. That's the primary objective at this stage, to maximize the returns on investment. And so far we've done, I think, pretty well. We've done just over 50% after expenses since the end of March.
Just over 50% what?
return on
Investment.
on investment. The gain since March is 50%. So if we had invested $100,000, it's $150
Since March, and that's
since
only
March.
a few months ago.
That's correct.
So what makes you different then than any other investment firm out there?
Well, I think we're the only firm that will actively manage the investment in terms of equities to try and maximize the returns on it, return on investment. So there are some that are passive, some that are, because of the size of the portfolio, blocks in the portfolio, don't have the same flexibility that we may have. And we just look for opportunities where we see them, and we're constantly looking for opportunities. And we will get rid of stocks if we believe the stocks have actually reached a level that's not going to deliver the type of return we think is acceptable in the short to medium term.
Now let me give you the details of the offer. They're seeking to raise $787 million by selling 600 million shares. Only 270 million shares are being offered to the public, and the cost of those is $1.35 each. By the way, the net asset value, NAV, per share of this company is $1.52 each. And like I explained in a previous episode, the net asset value per share is simply the total of the company's assets divided by the number of shares in that company. And some people use this to assess whether a stock is priced fairly. So by this measure, you'd actually be getting a discount at $1.35. But the drawback is that the shares aren't guaranteed to trade at or above the net asset value. Now, if you really want to talk about discounts, if you're an existing shareholder of Jamaican Teas as of today, September 16, you can apply in the reserve pool and get these same shares at $1.25 a share. And that would explain what happened with Jam Tea's shares on the JSE last week if you were following. Jam Tea's share price jumped from $6.20 last Monday when the prospectus came out to nearly $8 by Wednesday. And if that's anything to go by, it means there will be strong demand for QWI shares. If that demand is strong enough and the offer ends up oversubscribed, QWI has also decided that they may issue 300 million more shares, so they could raise up to $1.2 billion. The minimum buy for this one is 10,000 shares, so you could buy QWI for as little as $13,500 plus some small fees. And the lead broker is NCB Capital Markets. If you're going through anyone other than that, then you have to get your application in super early. So who else is in this company other than John Jackson? Well, CEO of Jamaican Teas, John Mahfood, is also on the board. Cameron Burnett is Jam Tea's Chief Financial Officer. David Stevens is a private investor and entrepreneur based in Cayman. Malcolm McDonald is a commercial lawyer. And you may know the name Carl Carby of Carlong Publishers fame and now chairman of Sangster's Bookstores. And you can read more from their bios in the prospectus. You definitely want to know who are these people with whom you'll be trusting your money. Of these five men, Jackson, Stevens, and Burnett make up the investment committee. And that's the committee that will be making decisions about what to do with your money. According to the prospectus, they'll also be relying on external advisors when necessary, and they will appoint an independent licensed investment advisor. Both of these measures are very necessary because of possible conflicts of interest with members who have interest in other companies, such as, well, Jam Teas being the obvious one. So how has QWI performed so far? Remember I told you that they had $165 million to start trading in March? They used that money to invest in 37 companies listed on the Jamaica Stock Exchange. The top 5 investments being Carib Cement, then NCB Group, Wisynco, Dolphin Cove, and Supreme Ventures. And according to the prospectus, by the end of July, just about 4 months later, that $400 million portfolio was already worth $899 million. Rather impressive. If you look at the historical performance of QWI's predecessor, KIW, they've done pretty well too. Between 2014 and 2018, their average return on investments was almost 40% compared to the JSE Combined Index, which was 33%. And I should mention here too that one of the things QWI wants to do with your money is diversify their portfolio by investing 25% of their capital in regional and international stocks. They're projecting that at the end of this month, the company's net asset value will rise to $1.4 billion. And by year 5, 2023, that will rise nearly 80% to $2.5 billion. Similarly, they're projecting net asset value per share will jump from $1.38 at the end of this month to $2.39 in 5 years. Now, I'm sure you want to know about dividends. QE says they will pay out up to 50% of their profits not reserved for reinvestment in dividends. However, that may not necessarily be cash. The directors may offer shareholders the option to take all or part of your dividends in the form of new ordinary shares credited as fully paid, meaning you could opt to take more QE shares for free rather than cash dividends. Now to some of the risks associated with this investment. Well, there's always the chance the market doesn't do as well as they expect. The country's macroeconomic policies could change and have a negative impact on the company and the stock market in general. These are risks that you take in investing in any listed company, really. But I think for this particular stock, whether you buy or not will depend a lot on how much you trust this team to deliver maximum returns on your investment and beat the industry standard, which is what they aim to do. Well, that's it for this edition of Money Mondays, brought to you in partnership with Proven Wealth and the Jamaica Stock Exchange. I'm Kalila Reynolds. Guys, I have something major I'll be unveiling later this week on my pages, and I might make that one exclusive to YouTube, so go on over there and subscribe now. I can't wait to share it with you. See you later.